And then for Adou Thiero, I want to talk a little bit more about him, talk about if he will be a rotation player or if he has an outside chance of cracking the rotation, what it would take for him to get in there for them, and simply about his game and what he should be working on this summer. So we'll talk about that and try to break it all down here. And well, quickly beginning with Adou Thiero, quick injury update as he is cleared to be back on the court, also that he is expected to be ready for training camp, this coming from Dan Wokey of The Athletic. Obviously a good sign for him after missing the latter part of his college career, also missing the Lakers Summer League and unfortunately not being able to play with them. But he's back out there on the court and fully cleared for contact and simply to be out there again too, which he definitely does need if he hopes to crack the rotation or simply get playing time at all this season. You know, with Adou Thiero, he definitely is very athletic, definitely is a very defensive-minded player, but he does happen to be a bit raw offensively. Yes, he did average roughly 15 points per game during his final year of college, but he has a lot of parts of his game that aren't refined and aren't quite up to the NBA level, one of which being his three-point shooting. I know I've talked about it and mentioned it with Adou Thiero before, but we really can't ignore the fact that he's not a great three-point shooter. And in the modern NBA, and especially on their team with guys like Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves that need floor spacing around them, especially given the fact that they don't really have very many floor spacing bigs, the only one being Maxi Kleber, who's not expected to be a big part of the rotation, they really don't have room for a wing player that's not a three-point shooting threat, and possibly even an offensive liability, as they kind of already have one at times with Jared Vanderbilt. So for Adou Thiero to crack the rotation and eventually become a rotation player for their team, either this season or sometime down the road for them, he will have to add a somewhat reliable three-point shot and simply become more reliable offensively. After all, he was only a 28.4% three-point shooter in college. Not only that, but he barely attempted any of them per game, during his senior year attempting under 2 of them in 27.5 minutes per game, only attempting a grand total of 74 in 3 years in college, only making 21 of them. So he definitely does have some work to do. The good news here with it is that he doesn't have a broken shooting form, doesn't have a terrible shooting motion that has to be really tweaked and really adjusted for him to get any improvement. I think he actually has a pretty solid shooting form and a pretty good shooting motion that he simply needs more reps to refine and get comfortable with too. Not simply changing it all up. I really hope they don't go that route with him. I don't think they need to do that. Simply get him in the gym and refine him a little bit, and hopefully that will translate to more reliable offensive game and more reliable three-point shooting too. However, even with that, the pathway to playing time for Adou Thiero is and always will be with his defense and athletic ability. I mean, watching his highlights or actual film on defense at the college level, the guy was an elite defender and simply an elite athlete out there too. Coming back and getting help side blocks on defense, running the floor and throwing down some monstrous dunks, playing some great on-ball defense, and being a pretty damn good screen navigator for his height and length. Adou Thiero has some major potential and upside on defense even at the NBA level, even potentially during his rookie year. You know, if Jared Vanderbilt would ever get hurt, I think this would be the direct pathway to playing time for him. In some ways, he really does reflect Jared Vanderbilt, with his ability at his size to defend 1 through 4 on the court. He is athletic enough to keep up with guards, but also big and athletic enough to match up with bigger wings, so that's kind of a backup plan to Jared Vanderbilt. If Vando ever gets hurt, and unfortunately he does tend to get hurt quite a bit, then that's where Adou Thiero could come in for them. Kind of a good backup plan and some insurance behind Jared Vanderbilt, another defensive-minded player that can take on tough matchups and actually win some of them too. That's what they have for Adou Thiero and kind of the short-term outlook with him. But again, if we're talking about the long-term outlook, really hoping for him to add a more reliable three-point shot, maybe make him a semblance of a 3-and-D wing for their team, something they don't have quite right now, maybe with Jake LaRavia, but that's the ultimate and long-term goal here with Adou Thiero, and hopefully it can happen sooner rather than later for him too. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night. And if you watch until the very end of this video, be sure to leave a comment saying, "Happy birthday, Kobe. We miss you."